What's cooking, folks? Vermillion Phoenix here, and today we're jumping into some more Orcs Must Die Unchained. This time, we will be going into the Gates of Thuricvod on Riftlord. So, I haven't actually put up a video of this map, and there's really not any reason for it. The first time I actually played it, I was level 35-ish, somewhere just under actually being able to get into Riftlord, and I was clearly under-trapped for it. I lost horribly, and I had been invited by two people that were already having trouble with it. So, what should I do? Is Blackpaw. Let's whip out the 2-2 again. And I think this is the deck that I want to use for it. We're going to go with Summoner Trap, which gives you your Summon Guardians. I only have 2 of them, so it's important to place those in some pretty useful locations. But we need to block a few things from being able to get through. Namely, this location here is going to be super important. And we're going to be using flip traps and ice vents. So these guys are going to be somewhat useful here. The Priest Guardian, the Headhunter is not super important. Probably a better idea to use a default Guardian in the rear, just because he will have that bonus damage and health, making him last longer. We're bringing the Mage's Clover so that we can keep Blackpaw's mana up, and managing his mana is probably one of the most difficult things to do if you are new to playing the game. So I'm going to give you a couple of pointers, and basically it's just picking things that reduce the mana cost of things that you do and playing accordingly. So let's go.
My fee is blood and bone.
Alright, now that we're in, first thing we're going to do is drop these Guardians off so that I don't waste time doing that when things start to go crazy. So,
the rift will be protected.
First thing we're going to do,
nothing will get past this,
is flip these guys back into where they came from.
I would quit my post only with properly relieved.
And then add a couple of those onto the end. That's pretty much mostly what we'll need to deal with what comes out of here in the beginning. So let's go ahead and get them fired up. So it's a good idea to only use the Q ability when you have large groups of enemies that you need to hold aggro for, bosses, or just a good pool of enemy minion HP put in front of you. Other than that, unless you know that an enemy hero is coming up or anything else crazy is coming after you soon, it blows a ton of mana. They cost about 70, and that's close to 50% of Blackpaw's mana pool. So I'm not going to recommend just doing that as soon as you have the opportunity. Although in this case, I'm about to have an enemy hero, which will be a mercenary when the commercial release actually gets out. Nice. The good thing about flip traps is they pretty much take care of the Stealth Orcs too, whereas most floor traps don't have the ability to do that. And she's dead. Alright, nice. Alright, gonna need you to come back out here so you can die, sir. Actually, while you're doing that, let me just...
Here.
Alright, that may be a bit of a problem. Alright, now, I would recommend not flipping the flips out that way. It's a good idea to flip them towards the wall and let your swing maces get more work done. And another one of these. So anything that hits the first 3 is essentially just going to actually just get flipped into the abyss there. So you don't really have to worry about that too much. Alright, I'm gonna go up here and do the same thing. Alright, so 3 flips facing the walls, and then a couple of these. Now, you're lucky if this unstable rift spawns up here. You can take it out and still not have to worry about pathing anywhere too crazy. The worst place that it can spawn is in the rear, because you will have to essentially get far out of position to deal with it. It's only 2 fire ogres if it happens to spawn for you. Alright, and it looks like those flips are doing a wonderful job. Once you get, again, past the 3rd trap, aim them towards the wall. Alright, and we are a little bit shy of the 7th level, which would be giving me free pounces, so I had to use a bit of mana to get back here. Not that big a deal, but not too horrible. Now in this case, there's a lot of enemies that are going to be sneaking through. We're going to grab Jumpy Wolf, which should give me a bit more mobility without the mana cost. Alright, that is done. So we're going to move that over a bit, drop that there, and then we're going to head back over here.
My post only when properly relieved.
Now I think to prevent this from costing me too much time, I'm actually going to reverse the, or not reverse, but change where those flips are pointing. Alright, enemies are coming through the rear first. Let's get those placed and then head back there and see what we have to deal with, because it's a lot. And I haven't placed quite enough traps here yet. I'm going to add some grinders, and don't have the coin for the arrow walls yet. Alright, good thing we took care of those relatively quickly. Guardian can handle the rest. Well, no he can't. Oh yeah, you can. Whoa. Okay, really missed a bit more than I wanted to. Oh, these are also just fire ogres.
Our enemies are breaking through elsewhere.
Good spot for giblets. I love traps.
Alright, so that's essentially everything that I would need on that side. That area has been blocked off. Bianca misses with a butt stomp. Give her a little bit of knockback and chomp. If you're a little bit lower level, you'll want to add a couple of swipes in there. Just be careful of her flail, as it does the most amazing damage. Alright, I'm going to grab Take What Is Owed, which will pretty much prevent me from having to ever worry about my life depleting. Unless you're an Endless. Alright.
Good spot for giblets.
Alright, yeah, just gonna do that.
Good spot for giblets.
Our barricade.
Going to add that there. So those enemies are going to be forced eventually to path into a whole lot of grinders. Okay. Alright, that done. Enemies are concentrated here now. Go ahead and drop your lightning ring here if you're using it. Alright, and we should pretty much be free of enemies from here on. Gonna hop over here. And this is just a whole lot of fire fiends. So do what you can to get rid of them. Get rid of those crossbow orcs as soon as you can. Alright, got a bit of coin. Let's grab that. Now, you're going to get some interesting things coming out of here now. Going to add some flips and face those backwards. And then from there on, we can just put more of these. That really should take care of everything that we have to worry about here. Because those guys can still get flung. And the vents will more than be, they'll be happy to take care of the firelings for you. Alright, now, after they're done, we can just head back here and clean these guys up. Alright. Now, with that pretty much over, and a lot of coin left.
This will work. Here.
We're pretty well into the last couple of waves. At 9 minutes on the 10th wave, a solid time to go ahead and make par. And you'll see again that I'm not spamming the undead gnolls, and that's because they really cost way too much mana to use under any sort of normal circumstances. Wow, those are taken care of. Okay, so last thing you will want to make sure of is that you add some extra damage to these guys, because they are going to be your biggest issue on the last wave.
They've summoned a boss minion.
I protect. You will pay for this.
Alright, and luckily the flips will help very much with the earth elementals as well.
Who disturbs my watch?
Wow, that was a perfect timing on that ability use right there. It allowed just about everything to be hit as the AoE attack pretty much murdered all of the additional summons that came from that boss. So, gonna turn these backwards. Going to add a whole bunch of these back here as well.
This will work.
Alright, now we got a bunch of high HP minions coming through. It's a good idea to go ahead and let the gnolls happen. Get away from those crossbows. There's not going to be a lot of them coming through, so not being near them is a good thing. Alright. So with Go for the Throat, the cooldown of both Wound the Prey as well as Go for the Throat is pretty much the same. Alright, and we're going to go flying back here, take care of these guys, and then we're going to head over to the right to take those out. Now, remember, we trapped this up a little bit less than the other side, so, alright.
I guard the rift.
Gonna have Fire Fiend kobolds coming through the center now. Be very careful about making sure that you are close enough to deal with them.
None shall pass.
You really want to try to catch them before they get to the flips, just because there's a very slim chance that they can get through before the flips actually happen. But whatever you don't hit, as long as you take out the majority of them. Ooh, that was a lot of damage. Your Guardian should be able to handle the rest for you. Okay, so we are already having issues with defending back here. Alright, Fire Fiends. Not the worst thing in the world. But our foot traps really did us a whole lot of favors there. And there we go. With our bug-eyed Blackpaw. Alright. And there's the 5 stars. 12 minutes, 53 seconds. Alright, and you'll see this is a particularly high damage stage for a hero, seeing as I was able to deal almost as much damage as my traps. And the flip traps that I used have stunning accumulators, which double the damage taken by the minions for 5 seconds after they're flipped. So that is a lot of damage. Either way, let me know what you guys think of the Gates of Thuricvod right now. I don't think it's a particularly ridiculous stage. I think the par time's just really tight. Dealing with the minions in the rear and taking out the minions in the front of the map is somewhat difficult. If you do have any issues, you might just want to drop the grinders, and you can use arrow walls on both sides. Bring a speed pad or two, place those around the rift, and you'll be able to dash to the front and back of the map without too many issues, especially if you have a slower character. If you're playing somebody like Bianca though, you might just be able to trap up both, like a few of the lanes, and then handle like half the map solo. Probably the rear, and make sure that the front is trapped up pretty heavy. But either way, that's it. As always, I hope this helped you guys out. I sincerely appreciate you for watching, and until next time, have a good one, folks.